today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're going to take a look at another PRS pedal. But before we do that, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on the notification bell. Your interaction with the channel really matters, and it helps us engage with people in the industry, builders, manufacturers, and in this case, a retailer that has been great to us. So we used our affectionately called Zounds library card. We got the third and final PRS pedal that we hadn't done yet, and the Beard's going to tell you about what we're going to do tonight.
Right, so this is the Horsemeat from PRS. Let's just get this out of the way. The Horsemeat, the Klon killer, right? So this pedal, I want to say, inspired by, but not designed after the Klon. So we listened to some things Paul said. He got a Klon, liked the Klon, loved it, didn't like how the bass went away when he turned up his amp and stuff. Wanted something that did kind of the same thing, but had more control over the bass, treble, gain, and they even have a voice knob on this. So we're talking about a pedal that has a gain knob and a volume knob, a bass and a treble knob, and then has a voice knob, which... if you go one way in the voice, you get kind of this like low end thing. But then we found as you turn that voice up, it kind of brings in a brightness and a attack kind of to it.
Yeah, we talk about a glassy sound.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really a nice knob. And typically I don't like overdrive pedals with more than 3 knobs on it. So we have 5 here and it sounds really nice. So I wanted to get that out of the way because I think the knee-jerk reaction is, okay, what do we know that's a Klon? What can we compare this to? And let's try and get it to sound like a Klon. And use it like a Klon, and we didn't.
And we said,
do any of that.
We said, nay.
Yeah, very nice. We didn't do any of that. We plugged it in, tried out a couple settings, and so we're not going to twist a whole bunch of knobs in this video. We're going to give you some clips, some different guitars, and just check the pedal out. And so let it, and we've been doing this a lot lately, let's let it stand on its own and get rid of the preconceived notions people have about it. Not come into it with that and just check out the pedal. This is what we did. First clip.
So one hard and fast rule we kind of have is if someone's going to send us some suggested presets, we're going to try them out. Well, in the manual, there's one called Paul's Favorite. So we always talk about how the creator sends the pedal. So in the diagram, we dialed it up Paul's favorite sound, and we grabbed a guitar with his name on it. I've seen him play live a few times. I went with the McCartys with a little lower output. Played nothing like Paul, but this was my interpretation of Paul's Favorite on the Horsemeat. So that was the Horsemeat with some McCartys set to Paul's favorite setting. The other suggested setting in the book was a setting that can either be used as a clean boost or to take an overdriven amp and drive it even harder. I opted to pick up the PRS Silver Sky and use it more like a clean boost, and this is what I did.
So one of the things that we like to do when we shoot videos like this is not only like kind of find some settings, different guitars, but also see how we would use it. So Pat had an opportunity. how did you?
Yeah, we decided to do a jam a little bit, and I stayed with the Silver Sky. I stayed in the neck pickup, and just try to tweak it a little bit, try to find where the gain wasn't too gainy, because I'm a self-imposed gainiac. So I tried to have the gain a little bit above noon. I wanted to play with the voice a little bit. I generally like those warmer tones to the left. I think I bumped the glass side up just a little bit, put a little more treble into it, and we played a jam, and this is what we did. So that ends the PJ portion of the show. Now we're going to kick it over to the beard. And so, how did you approach this pedal? What did you do?
So before I saw the
Manuel,
yes, the suggested settings, I'm waiting for Pat to get here. I sat down, just started turning some knobs, add some gain to it. It was already set up from when we used it the week before or whatever. I bumped the gain up, played with that voice. Really like it on the dark side. Really like it on the more glassy side. I think I left it on the more glassy side. Mm-hmm. Grabbed my PRS McCarty, which is my favorite, guitar. So grab that and just did something that sounds a little bit like this. Trying to use a whole bunch of different guitars. People want to hear humbucker, single close, whatever. So for the next clip, trying to be original here, I grabbed a Paul Reed Smith. This is the Swamp Ash. Pulled the tone knob out, which splits the coils. So I think I'm using a single coil in this pickup together. And then I was like, okay, Pat started reading me the clean boost settings, and I set it up, pushed the amp, made it break up. I'm like, don't like that for what I was doing, and started twisting knobs. You have to look on the video where the knobs are. But found a thing that I really felt accentuated kind of the clean tone when you bumped it up. It kicked in some EQ on it, made it a little bit brighter, cut through a little bit. Almost, in some regards tonight, we've said almost like kicking a compressor on.
Yeah, it might have been the sustain of that. We were trying to put our finger on what compressing kind of thing we thought it did. But yeah.
But really liked it, really enjoyed it, and it sounds a little bit like this. right, coming out of that, we have one more clip, one more jam that we did together. But before we get to that, because we'll put that at the end of the video here, so stick around for that. I thought maybe some final thoughts. We thought maybe some final thoughts. What are your final verdict? What do you think?
Yay or nay? I like it. And it's not, I mean, I'm sure I could be accused of being a PRS fanboy, and that probably wouldn't be too untrue.
Right.
But I still want to look at it on its own merit, right? And I think these pedals that we do that might be designed in part after something really mythological, if you will, that's intimidating to me. So I just want to approach this like, how would I turn it? I don't feel like I have to have the gain knob at a certain spot. I don't have to scoop the mids. I just approached it the way that I wanted to make it sound. And I actually used it on one other video in an outro jam, and I have not had a difficult time getting a sound out of it. I do find it very interesting, though, for depending on what I'm doing, I do tend to take that voice knob more towards the glass side and bump the treble. Maybe I've finally been converted to a guy that wants to be heard in the mix. But I like it. And it's not just because it says PRS on it.
Mostly.
Some people automatically give it hate because it says PRS. Some people automatically give it love PRS. I'm trying to be objective, because if it stunk, it would really break my heart. I would be like, this is awful that, I love this stuff. So I can get stuff out of it that I like. And I found some pretty inspiring tones, and I found it pretty easy.
For me, if you have an overdrive pedal with more than 3, if you have any there was a time where any pedal with more than 3 knobs on it, I was like, I don't need it in my life. So when you start putting 5 knobs on it, I started to get like, I don't know. I really liked some of the EQ on it, like when we did the clean clip, whatever. I liked the way the glass changes the sound, almost makes those notes kind of punchy. Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything. I don't even know what to say, I guess, at this point. It sounded great. When I was playing lead stuff, I really liked the tone. Let's talk about the last clip.
I was going to say that's a perfect segue to that last clip.
Because I think that's it. When you watch the last clip, and I struggled a little bit. I don't know. Tonight was struggling getting my head locked into whatever. So there's my excuse for the playing. But there's a couple times where I grab a note and hold it, and the harmonic thing that happens is just crazy. And I don't think it's the pedal.
Well, it's because you were playing a PRS guitar, right?
But it wasn't.
Oh, what were you playing?
Thank you. It wasn't that. I think it's the combination of things. So we had used a PRS guitar and that just was kind of shameful. So I wanted to grab something totally not a PRS. So I grabbed the Michael Dolan custom that we have. Although I will say, when this guitar got to me, it did not have its original pickups in it, which I wouldn't have liked anyway. And the pickups it had, I didn't like. And then Chris over at Woodshake Guitar Works had a pair of old McCarty pickups from a PRS, which is what I play. And I think they're newer McCarty pickups. And in this guitar, they sound amazing. So this guitar, that pedal, the Tyler amp, it is a tone I can't complain about.
Yeah.
So yeah, three PRS pedals, all doing great, all sounding great. Thanks to Zounds for sending those over. We really appreciate it. And I guess just a song before we go. Thanks for subscribing, clicking the notification bell, all the stuff, right, that Pat said in the beginning. Anytime you interact with the show, it really helps us out. We appreciate that to no end. And I think with that,
PJ, on behalf of the beard, reminder, no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. And if it has little birds on it, it's even better.